according to Eddie Hearn, the Anthony Joshua Kubrat Pulev fight may have to be moved abroad. It was going to happen in the UK at Tottenham's new stadium, but because of the current situation, they're looking to do the fight overseas, which is ironically what Kubrat Pulev wanted in the first place, because the negotiations between the two teams were protracted, and it was because Pulev and his team wanted to entertain offers to fight in Turkey and I think Saudi Arabia and other places which were offering a lot of money, far more than either man would have got in the UK fighting at Tottenham. So because of the current situation, they're now having to entertain overseas again because Hearn doesn't really want AJ to fight behind closed doors with no crowd. So let me quote Fast Car Eddie Hearn directly. He said, quote, "These countries are going to be up and running a lot quicker than our country or America. Would Saudi Arabia or Dubai or Abu Dhabi be ready to stage an event in September or October? I think 100%. If we can't get a live gate for the bigger fights, we have to look elsewhere. Do I really want AJ to box behind closed doors? No, not really. No. What he has produced in terms of that live audience, I'll be doing everything I can to make sure he doesn't fight behind closed doors. But if this goes on for another 6 or 12 months, we won't have a choice," end quote. So those are the words of Eddie Hearn. I think that this is the logical direction to go in because, of course, there will be many countries which open up before the UK. And, you know, AJ returning to Britain, fighting at Tottenham would have been great. I personally think that it would have given a massive boost to British boxing, you know, AJ returning to the UK. And I still hope that somehow, some way it can happen. Okay. Because this current situation is not only decimating the economy in general, and people are going to see the true extent of how horrendous the current measures that have been taken, how horrendous the effect is on the economy and people's lives, so on and so forth. But boxing is going to be affected maybe more so than most industries because most boxers are effectively self-employed, okay? And they're living, many of them, from paycheck to paycheck. So the current situation with audiences not being able to attend and all that kind of stuff, it means that there's just not enough money in boxing to pay most fighters. Yeah, the likes of AJ and the pay-per-view guys and some of the bigger names can fight behind closed doors with no audience. But for most boxers, no audience means no money at all. And they were on very little money to begin with. So this is going to destroy a lot of boxing, truth be told. Okay, that's the reality we have to wake up to. So, yeah, boxing is in the UK is in an even worse state. And it was in a, you know, not a terrible state prior to this current situation. But British boxing wasn't as strong, let's say 4 months ago, as it was a year prior, 18 months prior, when AJ was fighting in the UK regularly. You know, British boxing was getting a big boost. So him coming back to the UK to fight at Tottenham was going to boost British boxing again. So under the current circumstances, I mean, British boxing needs a boost even 100 times more than it did before. So I would love the AJ Pulev fight to happen in the UK for the sake of British boxing. But at this point, it looks very, very unlikely. Yeah. We'll see how things develop. But at the moment, it's looking as though it's probably going to have to go abroad. Turkey, I guess that's still a possibility. But even more possible is the likes of Saudi Arabia or the UAE. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Certainly to me, it's preferable to having it behind closed doors with no audience like UFC recently did. Having it in the UAE or in Saudi Arabia is preferable to that. But as I say, it's not quite what we would have hoped for. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.